Hello, and welcome. Tonight, you are invited to leave the noise of the present behind, to close your eyes, take a long breath, and slowly begin a quiet journey through time. This is not a tale of war, but of what remains after the final arrow has flown, not the clamor of battle, but the hush that follows it. Tonight, we take a slow, mindful walk through a battlefield. Long after the war has ended, there is no danger here, only silence and memory. The wind carries no screams now, only soft grasses, and the quiet songs of sparrows. So, settle in, feel your shoulders grow heavy, and your thoughts slow. Let your mind drift gently as we step into the past. Not to relive history, but to rest inside it. The sun is low, and its golden light stretches gently across a vast field, where once there may have been shouting. There is now only the soft rustle of dry grasses. The earth, disturbed long ago, has slowly begun to heal. A few wildflowers grow stubbornly in the cracks, left behind by man and metal lavender, poppies quiet, defiant things. You step carefully along what was once a path, but now is barely more than a suggestion, a slight curve in the ground, where boots once marched in long, loud lines. There is no one here now, only the breeze, and perhaps the sound of a distant wood pigeon. Everything is still, but never lifeless. As you move further, your steps become softer. The earth feels springy here, alive and forgiving. There was once a trench to your left, barely visible now, as nature reclaims her curves. You pause, leaning slightly over the edge, where weeds and moss cushion what once was sharp. It's easy to imagine the people who passed through here, not as warriors, but as tired souls, hungry, cold, thinking of home. You imagine one of them, a young archer with a woolen cap, his fingers calloused from years of work, his thoughts perhaps not of glory, but of stew, of sleep, of spring coming back again. The silence is generous. You do not feel haunted, only gently remembered. Further along, you come upon a scattering of forgotten things. A wooden shield, its paint long faded, is curled at the edges like old parchment. Nearby, a belt buckle glints faintly in the grass. These were once important, clutched tightly, strapped on with care. Now they rest, not broken, only still. You kneel down to touch the hilt of a blade, not to lift it, but to feel its cold, smooth silence. The metal no longer holds tension. It carries nothing now but time. You come upon a circle of stones. Old ash crumbles between them. This must have been a camp, a place of laughter, once, or maybe sorrow. Someone might have told stories here, passing bread, sharing wine, warming hands against the night. You sit at the edge of the old circle. Close your eyes. Imagine the faint scent of wood smoke, and the sound of distant bells ringing from a far-off village. They're just barely audible, as if memory is trying to hum you to sleep. At the far end of the field, trees begin to gather. You follow a narrow trail into a grove, where wooden markers, now worn and slanted, stand in uneven rows. No great monument, no grand memorial, just names carved with quiet care. Initials, simple dates, faded lines etched by tired hands. One has a flower tucked against its base, fresh enough to suggest someone still visits. The forest around it is hushed, but not solemn. It feels like a place of rest. You breathe in the scent of pine, of soil, of time itself. Slowly crumbling and growing again, you rise from the grove, your steps slow and respectful. The path beneath your feet is no longer bare dirt, but softened with fallen leaves. The forest welcomes you with quiet arms. Here, the trees are tall and knowing. You pass beneath arching branches as sunbeams drift down in shafts through green. Stirring air. It smells of old bark, gentle rain, and the musk of hidden creatures. Somewhere above, a bird calls once, then is silent. You imagine a traveler resting here long ago, leaning his back against this very tree. Did he hum to himself? Did he write a letter he'd never send? Beneath a twisted oak, you find the remains of a satchel, leather turned pale. Crumbling at the edges, it holds only a single button, a bit of thread, and a carved wooden figure worn smooth by fingers. It's strangely comforting, not sad, just quiet. Forgotten by the world, but not by the forest. The further you walk, the thicker the mist becomes. It curls around your ankles like sleep, soft and slow. The landscape fades to a dreamlike gray, where details are hinted at more than seen. There is an arch of stone up ahead, crumbled and moss-covered, but unmistakably human. Perhaps it once marked the edge of a camp, or the gateway to a command tent. Now, it stands alone. A doorway to nowhere, or perhaps to every memory ever carried through this place. You pause beneath it, letting the mist pass over your shoulders. The stone is cold but steady. Its weight is old, and it has seen many suns rise and fall. Eventually, the land slopes gently downward, and you hear it before you see it. A stream, clear, cold, and slow. You follow the sound to its bank. It murmurs softly over smooth stones, weaving its own quiet language through the woods. A broken shield rests in the water's edge. Its paint is long gone, but the shape is unmistakable. Round and battered, its wood now more lichen than oak. You kneel and run your fingers through the current. It's crisp and alive. The stream has no memory of the war, only the joy of flowing, of soft bubbling laughter around stone. You sit for a while, letting the water speak. Time feels different here. You are no longer walking so much as wandering. The rhythm of your footsteps slows, and somewhere in the distance, you hear the faint sound of a bell. Not a warning, not a call to arms, just a soft church bell. Perhaps from a small village across the hill. It rings only once, then falls back into silence. You imagine a chapel in the mist, a place of candles and whispered prayers. Somewhere, someone tends a garden beside its wall. They don't know you are here, but their bell found you anyway. Evening has come. The light is cool and blue now. Shadows stretch longer, and the air is tinged with the scent of dew and quiet time. You walk through a field of stones, not graves, just rocks arranged in forgotten patterns. Old boundary markers, perhaps, or the remnants of tents and campfires long since vanished. One has a small carving, a circle with 3 lines through it. Its meaning is unknown, but it feels personal, like a message sent not to be understood, only remembered. You sit beside it, breathing slowly. The world does not demand anything from you here. The light is fading into gray. A gentle mist has settled low to the ground, softening the outlines of everything. Even your thoughts feel quieter here, in the distance. On a small rise, you see a row of candles placed along an old stone wall. The flames flicker, but do not go out. You walk slowly toward them, drawn by the quiet glow. No one else is near, but someone lit these not long ago. Perhaps they come each year, to remember someone who once stood here. Or perhaps they come for no reason at all, just to keep the silence company. You pause before one of the candles, and notice something tied to the base, a ribbon, faded blue, with a name that time has worn away. It doesn't need to be read. The light speaks enough. Beyond the rise, you find the ruins of an old WATCH tower. It stands crookedly on a stone foundation, its top long since collapsed, but the base remains solid, and the door creaks as you open it. You climb slowly up worn stone steps, spiraling inward, each footstep echoing gently. At the top, there is no roof, only sky, now painted in deep shades of violet and indigo. The view stretches wide. The field where you walked looks small from here. The mist curls over it like a blanket. Somewhere in that field, others may be walking to quiet dreamers like you, imagining stories behind every stone and shadow. You rest your arms on the cool parapet stone, watching night come gently to the land. You make your way down slowly. Your feet are lighter now, tired, perhaps, but not weary. Just outside the base of the tower, beneath a leaning tree, you find an old bench carved from a single slab of wood. It is worn smooth from years of rain and waiting. You sit. The tree above you leans protectively, its branches soft, with lichen and memory. You lean your head back, close your eyes, and for a long moment, you simply breathe. Somewhere nearby, water drips slowly from a leaf. The rhythm is gentle, almost like a lullaby. This spot feels sacred, though there are no signs or altars, just peace. The night is here now, fully and softly, above you. The stars have begun to gather, quiet, blinking. Stories written in light. The longer you look, the more appear. You lay back in the grass, feeling the earth warm beneath you, as if it remembers holding others this way. You think about the lives that touched this land, not the battles, but the quieter moments in between. Someone writing a letter home, someone tucking a coin into their boot, someone laughing over burned stew. The stars remember them, even if no one else does, even if names are forgotten. The warmth is still here, somewhere not too far away. A small herd of sheep are curled in a meadow, their white forms like stones scattered. In the moonlight, they are dreaming, just as you are beginning to. Perhaps they dream of wide green hills, or the warm bleat of a mother beside them. The world is asleep, the trees are still, the grass no longer stirs, and your thoughts are softening. You roll onto your side, feel the cool of the soil, the rhythm of breath in your chest, and the weight of the day falling away. You are not walking anymore. You are floating through memory, held in the arms of a land that remembers softly, a battlefield that is no longer won. The war is over. The story has quieted. Even the past has laid down to rest. Your breath slows. Perhaps a dream will find you now. A story not of swords, but of stars, not of orders shouted, but lullabies whispered from the soil itself. You are safe. You are held. You are